You are in a crowded room right now, or maybe you remember being in one. Dozens of voices overlap, music plays somewhere in the background, and yet the moment someone across the room says your name, you hear it instantly, clearly, like it cut through everything else on its own. That's not a coincidence. The real reason is far stranger than simple attention. You call it hearing. Your ancestors called it staying alive. Every sound you've ever ignored and every sound you've ever snapped toward without thinking was shaped by a world where the wrong sound meant the difference between eating dinner and becoming it. So how did your ears actually get built? And why does a system designed for a silent grassland still control what grabs your attention in the middle of a packed subway car? Go back deep into your evolutionary history long before your ancestors were even human. Your outer ear, that curled, ridged shape on the side of your head, still carries the blueprint of something older. Charles Darwin noticed a small, pointed bump near the upper edge of many human ears, a leftover fold now known as Darwin's tubercle. It's the fading trace of a once mobile, pointed ear tip, the kind you still see swiveling independently on a cat or a deer. Your ancestors' ears used to move. Not much, but enough. Tiny muscles around your ear can still twitch today when a sudden sound surprises you, a barely visible flinch, a leftover reflex from a time when swiveling your ear toward danger without turning your whole head and giving away your position could save your life. Now imagine a hunter-gatherer standing at the edge of a forest. Every rustle, every snapped twig, every distant call has to be sorted instantly into two categories: threat or not a threat. There is no scrolling past a sound, there is no muting it. Every sound demands an answer right now. This is where your hearing becomes something much stranger than a simple sense. It becomes a survival filter running constantly, whether you want it to or not. Psychologist Colin Cherry first named this phenomenon in the 1950s while studying how people manage overlapping conversations. He called it the cocktail party effect, and his research revealed something remarkable. Your brain doesn't process all sound equally. It ranks it. Your name, a baby's cry, a sudden sharp noise. These cut through a noisy room almost automatically, while dozens of other conversations blur into background static you never consciously chose to ignore. That single finding reframes everything. Your hearing was never built to capture the world evenly. It was built to filter it ruthlessly in favor of whatever might matter for your survival. Here's where it gets stranger. Neuroscientist Joseph Rauschecker, whose research maps how the brain processes complex sound, found that your auditory system doesn't just receive noise passively, it actively predicts what's coming next, comparing incoming sound against a constant internal model of what should be normal in your environment. When something breaks that pattern, an unexpected creak, an unfamiliar voice, a sound slightly too close, your brain registers it as significant before you've even had time to think about why. Think about what that means for a moment. Your ears aren't just microphones feeding raw sound to your brain. They are running a constant background prediction engine built across millions of years whose entire job is to catch the one sound out of thousands that might actually threaten you. For your ancestors, this system had a narrow but life-or-death job: snapping branch behind you, low growl in the grass, a silence where there should have been bird song. Each one required an immediate answer: freeze, turn, run. But your modern environment floods that same system with an entirely different kind of noise. Notification pings, ringtones, a stranger's raised voice 2 tables over in a coffee shop, sirens, car horns. None of these are predators, but your ancient sound filtering system doesn't know that. It still treats sudden, sharp, unexpected sound as urgent, because for most of human history, sudden and sharp usually meant dangerous. This is why an unexpected phone buzz can spike your heart rate even when you're expecting good news. This is why a loud, sudden car horn can leave your hands trembling slightly even seconds after you register there was no actual danger. Your ears did their ancient job perfectly. The alarm just had nowhere real to send you. And here's the truly strange part. Silence itself can trigger the same ancient alarm. In a forest, prolonged silence often meant a predator was near enough that other animals had already gone quiet in fear. Your ancestors' brains treated an unnatural silence as a red flag, not a relief. Which may be why a hush falling suddenly over a noisy room can feel oddly unsettling to you today, even when nothing threatening is actually happening. Some proto-instinct in your auditory system still remembers that silence used to mean something was watching. Now think about your own name again in that crowded room. It cuts through instantly, not because it's louder than everything else, but because your brain has flagged it as maximally relevant to your survival and social standing. Your ancestors needed to instantly detect when they were being called, warned, or singled out by their group. That exact wiring is why even now, hearing your name spoken by a stranger 3 tables away can pull your full attention away from a conversation you were actually enjoying. So the next time a sudden sound makes your whole body react before your mind catches up, remember what's actually happening. You're not overreacting. You're not too sensitive. You are running one of the oldest filtering systems your body ever built. A system so good at catching the one important sound in a world full of noise that it still can't fully tell the difference between a real threat and a ringtone. You are in a crowded room right now, or maybe you remember being in one, and somewhere underneath all that noise, an ancient part of you is still listening for exactly the sound that once meant the difference between staying safe and not.